Letitia, it's been a long time. I have something I'd like to ask you, so I'm wondering if now's an okay time?
Oh, well, if it isn't my little sister Blanca. The one that had her boyfriend stolen by me back in college and then ran back home to her parents crying and then ran off to never come back to us for 7 years. I remember you.
I understand that I've not come home for a very long time now, but I've still kept in touch with Mom and Dad. And the only reason I moved out of the house back then is because I was already planning on living on my own. And what you did to me was just going on at the same time. And as for that man you said you stole from me, he wasn't my boyfriend anymore, and we had already cut ties to one another before you started to date him.
Huh?
I told you time and time again to never go out with that man because he was bad news. But you never listened to me and kept saying that I was trying to keep him to myself and that you were so glad you were able to get him from me.
Huh?
Stop trying to act like you never heard any of that from me. I was never planning on going back out with that man, and the reason for that was pretty clear to me, and I'm sure clear to you now as well.
What are you talking about?
Don't you remember how you were only ever able to go out with him on Fridays? Well, that's because you were only his Friday girl.
What the heck is a Friday girl?
You don't know? There's 5 days during the week, before the weekend, Monday through Friday. And he happened to have a girl for every day of the week that he'd go out with. And he'd do that every week, going back to his Monday girl when the week started again.
What?
Sorry, we got a little off topic there. Now, Letitia. Right now, you're with my husband, Aaron, right?
Huh?
Coming over to my place to make out with him in my bed is absolutely gross, so I'd like for the two of you to stop that right now.
So you found out, huh?
Well, you got that one right.
Well, I guess that sucks, but at least now I don't really need to explain much. But unlike last time, this time I'm actually going to be stealing your man from you, and I'm not going to let him get away from me after. However, what makes this time even more different is that Aaron is married to you.
Well, you're right about that as well.
And one other thing. Just one other thing. I have something to tell you regarding me being with your husband now, and it's the perfect time for this.
What?
I'm pregnant with Aaron's baby.
Huh?
I think the day that he and I first got together was the day he got me pregnant, since we didn't have any protection then. But I'm sure that's a shock to you, since for the longest time now you've been trying for a baby, yet never got pregnant. So I'm sorry that I'll be the one carrying his kid now. I'm saying that I'm sorry that on our first try, we were able to make a baby together and didn't even have to try. And it seems that Aaron has been wanting a baby for so long now, right? Well, I don't think he'll ever be happy with a defect like you, so I'll be getting married to him now.
So this is how you learned about us having trouble making a baby? I see. Well, he and I have been talking to one another for a little while now about getting a divorce and all that comes with it.
Really?
Every single day, he'd blame me for being the reason I could never get pregnant, and it has started to really wear me down a bit. And recently, I just don't feel like being his wife anymore.
What the heck is up with that?
Well, this is all great news for you two. Congrats on getting pregnant with him.
Huh? Are you kidding me right now? You have no right being happy about us right now. I'm the one that's won, and you should not be happy about any of that.
And if that's what you want to think, then go right ahead and keep thinking that you've won. But be aware that I will be getting a settlement from the two of you, so don't dilly-dally on that.
Sure, whatever. It seems to me that Aaron is going to be paying for me as well, so you can ask for however much money you'd like from us. I mean, the guy's making around $1 million a year, so he's got the money to pay you off.
I see. So that's why you ended up wanting to steal him from me then.
Blanca, I'm sure you've already heard about us from your older sister, but everything she said was right. I've become a dad now, and I need to be responsible for the baby. And not just that, but I've also fallen in love with Letitia now. So there's nothing more you can do to get me to stay with you.
Hold on a second. I understand that we've been married for 3 years now, and you and I have been unsuccessful at having a baby together. But remember that just a little while before, you and I went in and took a fertility test at the clinic nearby? Right now, we're waiting on the results of that test, right? So what are we going to do about that?
Well, about that. As you can see, me getting your sister pregnant pretty much means that I'm not the one with the problem, so I guess it means you're the unlucky one in all of this, so sorry.
Are you really sure that you getting her pregnant is the right thing to base the answer off of?
I have a very good reason to doubt me being the one that's infertile. So I think I'll stick with the answer being that you're the one with the issues.
Is that so? All right then. But when I get the results from those tests, you don't need to hear about them from me, right? I'm okay to keep that all to myself?
Well, I already know that I'm not the one with the problems, so I don't care to listen to you tell me that you are infertile. And besides, I'm going to be the one paying you for a settlement anyway for being with your sister now, so you can go ahead and just stop talking to me from now on. I've already been given the okay from your parents, so I don't need to hear from you later that you want me back.
I'm sure that my parents aren't okay with what's going on here. Rather, they don't want your kid growing up in a messed up family without a father, so they're letting you stay with her for the baby's sake.
Well, what difference does that make? All that really matters to me now is if that baby is going to be a boy or a girl, and I can't wait to find out.
I see. Well, I'm going to ask for a lawyer to help with the divorce papers and the settlement, so you can wait to hear things from them and handle things.
Sounds good. I'll be waiting.
Blanca! Thank you so much for getting divorced from Aaron. So now, starting today, he is officially my man and nobody can touch him. I'm sure you've already gotten the money from him, right? Well, if you have, that means we can stop talking about all of this now.
I feel as though there might still be things to talk about later, but who cares, right? By the way, I'm pretty surprised to have learned this, but when you were with Aaron, you had a fiancé yourself, right?
I'm sure I did have one, but he was only making around $80,000 a year. That obviously wasn't enough to afford me for the long haul, and seeing a man before my eyes who's making $1 million a year, well, I couldn't just sit around and let him get away. So that's why I jumped on him.
I can't believe what I'm hearing, but I want to know if Aaron had to pay that guy off as well for you.
Well, of course he has. But Aaron has the money to pay him, so I don't mind. And to be honest, if Aaron wasn't going to offer to pay for me during times like these, I'd leave him in a heartbeat.
You seriously only care about people's money, huh?
Don't feel so jealous about me getting to have him now, okay? It's only fair considering I'm the one with the better butt, and I have to say that my waist has slimmed down quite a bit. If it wasn't for those two things, I'm sure your little pencil body could have kept him on your leash. By the way, we're planning to hand in our marriage papers this week. And thank you again for divorcing him before my belly started to get really large with his baby.
Oh, wow. Really? That's so great.
Blanca, I'm finally at my final month of the pregnancy.
Is that so? Well, I'm pretty busy now, so I'll talk to you another time.
Wait! I can see that you may want to act all okay about what's happening here, but I can tell you're hurting from all this news.
No, I'm over being upset about what's happened, Letitia.
You're really going to keep trying to act all tough in front of me?
I have to leave my house soon.
Slow down for just a little bit longer. I have just a bit more that I'd like to talk about. I get that you might want to get out and get back to whatever work or hobby you're up to, but you're still a single woman with no man to look forward to, so all that work and time you have to get to is for nothing.
I'm serious about not having the time right now. I'm going to be late for the plans I have to pick someone up.
Oh? You have to get there to see them that badly? Who is it?
My boyfriend.
Huh?
Bye-bye.
You already have another man by your side? What the heck, Blanca? What the hell is this piece of mail? What are these test results?
Oh, so those finally showed up at your place then. Well, when I was unpacking all my things after moving into my new place, I happened to find that at the bottom of one of my boxes. It must have gotten in there by accident, so I'm sorry for keeping you both waiting on the news. But that's why you're only getting those results from me now.
I don't give a crap about how these got here and why. I want to know what all of this means for Aaron. What does it mean he suffers from male infertility? He told me that you're the one that suffers with that crap, not him.
And right before the two of us got divorced, we took some tests to see who was in trouble. But I got results back saying there was nothing wrong with me.
Huh? Hold on a second. That means that I'm in trouble now.
I'm the one that's got issues? Blanca, why did you never tell me all of this sooner when you got the results in?
Well, even if I wanted to tell you, we had already gotten divorced by the time I got your results, and so I didn't really care to tell you.
But back then, there was still a bunch of time before Letitia was going to have her dang baby, right?
Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't know that my sister was carrying a baby that wasn't your own at the time.
Huh?
You were the one saying that the baby was yours for sure, and telling you both that the baby wasn't yours would have caused her a lot of stress. And it's not good for the baby to stress their mother when they're still inside. Now stop talking to me, Aaron.
He's asking to get a divorce from me. We had to make sure that we weren't just tripping about him not being able to have a baby, and so we took the baby's DNA, and it of course showed that it's not his. When we learned that he couldn't give me a baby, I wanted to start thinking of ways to help fix him and all of that, but why the hell did you not tell the both of us this a whole lot sooner?
Well, when you were talking about stealing him from me, the results hadn't come out yet for the tests we took.
Seriously?
Whether you were planning on taking my husband at the time away from me or not, or whether we had been divorced yet or not, I didn't know a thing about him being 100% infertile. But I'll tell you that when we were talking before the divorce, I asked him if he wanted me to tell him the results or not of the tests when I got them, and he said he didn't care. So stop trying to act as though I was trying to set you both up or anything like that, because I tried to help you both.
For crying out loud. It seems that my ex-boyfriend has found out about all of this now, and he keeps blowing up my phone about wanting me to test and see if he's the father.
Is that right?
No matter what I try and do now, this is all screwed the frick up.
Blanca, how about the two of us get remarried? After hearing that you were able to have a baby now, I guess I can't complain anymore about you, so I think it'd be fine being back together with you and all that. And I get that I can't give you a baby, but hey, at least now we don't have to worry about protection in bed, right? Well, I'm totally alright with us getting things cooking again. And I'm sure you are too. I'm going to start filling out our marriage forms and we'll be over at your place really soon. I can't wait for you to be my wife again. I can't believe it, Blanca. I heard from a friend of mine. You've gotten married to another man now. Please tell me you're at your new place now waiting for me to show up, okay? You still love me and want me to be your husband again, right? Blanca. Blanca. What is going on here? I just went to the apartment that you and I have been living in together. And when I went and knocked on the door for you to let me in, a couple that I've never seen before opened the dang door up. I asked the landlord what happened to you. She said the day after you and I got divorced, you moved out of the apartment with all of your things. When you do something as important as that, you have to tell me those things, okay? I even heard from your sister that you never go back to your parents' house. So where the hell have you run off to?
I had totally forgotten that I turned all of the notifications from Aaron off, and so the whole time he was texting me, I never saw a thing. But it's been a week now since his last text, and I have to say I think he's given up on trying to get me to come back. Now to start things off with what happened afterwards, the baby that my sister ended up having turned out to be the baby of a man she used to be engaged to before going to Aaron. Letitia tried to go back to him, asking for the two of them to get back together, but that didn't work. And somewhere along the way, her ex ended up getting custody of the baby and taking it away from her. So for the kid's sake, that's a huge win right there. Anyway, after what happened to her, she went back to her old ways of stealing men from other women and one day wound up with a man who's in serious debt. As of right now, no one is really sure what happened to her and that man, but they're off the grid now. As for my ex, Aaron, being divorced for a second time due to the fact that the baby was never his and that he couldn't handle the pain of being infertile, he became super depressed and stopped going out and to work. He was later fired from that job and is now having to deal with all sorts of costly things like not being able to pay for his house and having to pay a settlement to Letitia after getting that divorce. So all I can really say about him now is that he's struggling to swim out of the deep end of life.
Do you have work today, Jack? Work starts from noon today. Aren't you supposed to be at school? I caught a cold. Oh, get some rest, okay? Yep. But today's your birthday, so I wanted to greet you. Huh? No, I guess today is my birthday. I can't believe you forgot. Thanks. Don't forget your own birthday. That's sad. You're 20 now, right? Now? 18 is the age of majority now, though. Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to grow up already, too. But I, on the other hand, want to return to elementary school. Being an adult is so much better. You get to do whatever you want. Being an adult's not that easy. What? Did Mom greet you already? No, not yet. Oh, really? You know how she is. She must have forgotten. Do you and Mom not get along? Do you guys still argue? We don't argue. But didn't you leave home because of a fight you had with Mom? I didn't leave home in that sense. But you two were shouting. I heard it. I guess we did fight. But I left so I could have my independence. Everyone leaves the house they grew up in eventually. Really? Everyone? Maybe not everyone, but I wanted to leave and live on my own as soon as possible. I want to be independent. So you're saying you wanted to be able to live on your own? Yep, which is why I found a job as soon as I graduated high school. No one can just depend on their parents forever. I was just a bit early, but it does seem that Mom didn't like me leaving the house. I want to become independent too. That's impossible, you're still a child. Graduate high school first at least. So many years from now. I want to get a job and live on my own as well. What are you saying? Finding a job is difficult if you don't graduate high school. So you should really go for the sake of your future. Huh? You should go to university too if possible.
But you didn't go to university, right?
It's fine because you don't need a degree at the job I have now. Besides, I doubt Mom would have paid the tuition fee, which will probably pay if it's for you.
You and Mom really don't get along, huh?
Anyways, you're still a long way from independence if you're in elementary school. So no need to worry about it for now and just study.
Well, come home once in a while, Jack. It's fine with you as long as Mom isn't home, right?
I'm pretty busy as well. I don't really have the time to come and visit.
You're planning on becoming a chef, right? Is the training hard?
It is, but it's also quite fun. The owners are really kind, and while my tutors are strict, they're not bad people.
You always were pretty good at cooking. I love the food you cooked. I wish I could eat the omelet you used to make again.
I can make even better omelets now. Why don't you come over to my house during summer vacation? I'll make you an omelet or any other thing you want.
Really? That's a promise, right?
Got it. For now, just go and take a nap. And when you feel better, go and study, alright? Then you can come over to my house during the summer.
Got it. I'll do my best.
It seems that you've been talking to Thompson frequently, Jack.
Yeah, it's not really frequent. Just once in a while.
So it's true? Would you please not teach him anything strange?
What do you mean by that?
I don't want him to become like you. So don't text him too much, alright?
Not like me. Did I do something?
I mean, I don't want him to become good for nothing like you and leave the house. I wonder why you turned out like that. Thompson is such a nice child in comparison.
Just how am I good for nothing? I'll work hard and pay my taxes. I make a living out of my own money now. I haven't been any trouble to anyone, and there's no reason for anyone to have any issues with me.
But this job of yours is ridiculous. I don't care if you're a chef or something, but I didn't raise you to do such a worthless job.
It isn't worthless.
I wanted you to get a job that made more money. There's so much jobs you could have taken. You could have become a doctor or a lawyer or have gone to the technology sector, but you decided to become a chef. All the time I spent on you is a waste.
I'm just doing what I want to do. You have no right to interfere.
What are you saying? Do you know how much I sacrificed to raising you? And then you just leave the house suddenly? Of course I have complaints.
I would have suffocated if I'd stayed there any longer. I probably would have even lost my mind. I don't want to live as your puppet.
I'm the one who raised you. But here you are. Why can't you just listen to what I say?
I had no freedom while I was living there with you. I couldn't even make any friends, you know? Whenever I would go out with friends, you would find some sort of way to bother me. There's something seriously wrong with a parent who destroys their child's friendships.
Everything I did was for your own sake. But as soon as you graduated high school, you left.
What do you mean it's for my own sake? Everything you did for yourself. Don't push your ideals on me, it's a bother.
What? What did you say?
I'm grateful you raised me, but I can't accept being controlled like some sort of puppet. My life is my own life.
You really do care nothing about your mother. I'm worried Thompson will become like you.
He's a smart kid, so he should be fine. But can you try not to control him in every way like you did with me? You just end up suffocating if you do.
I'm not as strict as I used to be, you know. I learned from my mistakes with you. I'm planning on letting him develop his abilities on his own.
I guess so. I haven't heard anything from Thompson.
Heard what?
He hasn't talked about you being too strict or anything. When I was still living there, I was barely able to put up with it. I haven't thought about leaving before high school many times.
Thompson's not like you. He's not just gonna leave like you did. That child has his head straight.
Unlike me, huh?
He's going to go to university and get an actual job, unlike you.
I see. I'm sorry I wasn't able to live up to your expectations.
There's no need for you to come home ever again. I'm not going to help. Even if you're in trouble, I don't have the money to lend you, see?
I don't need your help. The salary I have now is pretty decent and I'm working hard.
Aren't you just an apprentice over there? Stop boasting, will you?
The owner's a pretty good person. He's not the type to give me a low wage just because I'm an apprentice. He gives me a place to live and food to eat, so I'm actually able to save up money. Is that so? Well, he did hire a kid who just graduated from high school, so he must be a nice person.
Well, just don't rely on me from now on, alright?
Wasn't planning on it.
Are you still at work, Jack?
Today's a day off. What's wrong?
Is it alright if I come over and stay at your house? You told me I could come before, right? It's not sort of vacation yet, but is it okay?
What, today? You got school tomorrow, right? Why not come over on a weekend instead? It'll be hard going to school from my house, right?
It's fine. I haven't been going to school anyways, which is why I want to go today.
Huh? What do you mean you haven't been going to school? Have you been taking absences?
Yep, every day for a while now.
What do you mean for a while? Since when have you not been going to school?
It's probably been 4 months since the last time I went.
You said you skipped school because you had a cold the last time, right? So you didn't have a cold and we're just not going?
Yep, I lied that time. Sorry.
So you're really not going to school anymore? Did something happen at school? Did you have trouble with your friends or something?
No reason really.
Then why didn't you go to school? Something happened, right?
I actually want to go to school, you know, but I can't.
Why?
Mom won't let me.
Mom? She's telling you not to go to school?
Yep, which is why I'm at home always.
Why wouldn't you let you go to school? You want to go, right?
She said that if I go, I'll become stupid, and that I'll be negatively influencing my classmates.
What's she on about? The school is a place to study, right? Why would that make you dumb?
Mom always said the same thing. Don't become like your brother, which is why she's raising me in a different way.
So that's why she's not letting you go to school. Thompson, how does she treat you? She might be even more strict with you than she was with me.
She punishes me if I rebel even a little, and she only gives me raw vegetables to eat.
Why only raw vegetables?
She says that eating artificial additives will make me stupid.
What? She's the one who's stupid? There's no way a child will be able to grow properly with only raw vegetables.
My head always hurts recently. I'm always exhausted as well. I want to eat some of your omelets again.
No wonder you do. You're extremely low on protein and carbohydrates. You must be low on nutrition. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
I thought if I told you, you and Mom would start fighting again. Mom says to never meet with you again. I didn't want that to happen, so I kept quiet. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. It's not your fault.
I'm scared of Mom. I don't want to be with her anymore. But Mom says that I should never leave her.
She must not want to let go of you. She probably won't let you go to school so you won't get the idea of leaving her. You'll probably notice the abnormality of the situation you're in when she sees what it's like for everyone else.
So, we really are a strange family.
This isn't something a parent usually does. I noticed this eventually, which is why I left. I thought that it would be fine since she was nice to you, but it seems I should have brought you with me too.
I want to be with you, Jack, not Mom.
I'm sorry. I didn't have the emotional leeway at the time. I was only thinking about protecting myself. I had to do all I could to get away.
What should I do, Jack? I don't want to stay in this house anymore, too.
I understand. Come over to my house. Mom's not there right now, right?
Yeah? She said she'll be late today.
Then now's the chance. I'll come and pick you up.
Do you know where Thompson is? He's not home. Is he over at your house?
You got home a lot earlier than I thought you would. I'm so glad you made it in time.
Did you sneak him out?
Yep, I rescued him. What was it about you not being strict to Thompson? You're harder on him than you were on me.
What are you talking about? Who cares? Just give me Thompson back. He'll be negatively influenced if he's around you.
You're the one who's negatively influencing him.
You're saying I did something?
You wouldn't let him go to school, right? And you only gave him raw vegetables to eat, right? Thompson's so thin now, he's malnourished. You know, it's a crime to do such a thing to children. I called the cops earlier. They brought someone from the childcare department, and they had Thompson brought to the hospital. He collapsed from anemia. It's probably because he suddenly felt relieved.
Why'd you have to tell the police? I haven't done anything to get caught.
The people at the hospital are studying Thompson's body. They're checking for bruises specifically.
You think I hit him or something? Quit fooling around.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did such a thing. Anyone would doubt it, seeing how malnourished he was by you. You won't be able to obtain custody of Thompson anymore. I'll raise him from now.
What are you saying? There's no way you'd be able to raise him. You're just a child.
I'm already an adult who has a job.
But you're still an apprentice, right? What exactly will you be able to do?
My salary's pretty much the same as yours. I heard that you only work part-time now.
You've never raised a child, have you? A child needs a mother.
It's true I don't have any experience raising a child, but I'm confident I'll do a better job of it than you. I would make him malnourished for one. Better off having no mother than having a mother like you.
Stop saying such ridiculous things. It's not easy raising a child, you know. You need a lot of money. You'll probably run out immediately.
I basically don't have to pay for food and rent. I asked the owner and it seems I'll let Thompson live with me. They even said they'll help as much as I can.
There's no way something that good can be true.
The owner and his wife are pretty kind people. They welcome kids like me who have no home. They said that they'll help me until I can handle things on my own.
There must have been some sort of catch to that. No one's that nice to others.
There are wretches like you in the world, but there are also kind people like the owner and his wife. This is what I learned after seeing society with my own eyes.
Stop acting all high and mighty. Don't steal the only hope I have left. You piece of shit. I shouldn't have had you.
Me in the past would have probably been hurt by those words and started crying. I had no self-esteem after being rejected by you over and over. I'm no longer like that. I was lucky enough to have met good people and have regained my self-esteem. Which is why I won't cry, whatever you say to me now. I'm not giving you Thompson no matter what you say.
It's your fault for being such a good-for-nothing. If only you had grown up well, I wouldn't have gone into this mess.
So you're saying it's my fault that you couldn't raise Thompson well? You've been failing at this child-raising thing from the start. So why not just give up and quit? You're not good at it.
Why do I have to hear such things from you?
I'm telling you right now because you won't be able to notice for yourself. You're not fit to be a mother. Both me and Thompson aren't your puppets. Why not stop trying to push everything on your kids and become independent, huh? After that, I was given custody of Thompson, and the two of us have been living together ever since the incident with subsidiaries from the government. I found out later on that Mom became so poor that she couldn't even pay her taxes. It seems that I had more money than her from the start. She's now receiving aid from the government and is now in a mental hospital. I have no idea what happened to her after that. Both me and Thompson have resolved to live from now on, thinking we no longer have a mother. The owner and his wife welcomed Thompson warmly, and he's regained his former brightness. I plan on thanking them for all they did for us someday. The two have no children, so I'm even prepared to take care of them once they're old. Thompson's glad to be able to go to school again, and is catching up on his studies. He keeps saying how when he becomes an adult he'll get rich so that I can take it easy. I look forward to the adult he'll become.